The original file size of the YouTube videos you are watching is actually enormous. Thanks to the rapid growth of communication technology, we can now send lots of multimedia data quickly. But if we sent videos in their original form, you would not even finish the intro before turning it off. That is why brilliant minds have worked hard to reduce video sizes. Now we can compress them to less than 1/1000th of their original size. Now let's dive into the amazing world of MPEG standard, which cleverly compress video by reducing the size of each individual frame, and by leveraging the relationships between frames over time. Watching a video is like quickly flipping through a series of photos. In the videos you fondly recall from Saturday Movie Cinema Paradise, they showcased a long strip of film with individual pictures, spinning it quickly to create a seamless motion effect that was invisible to the naked eye. Edison's films and today's YouTube videos use the same principle of rapid image display. As the duration of the video playback increases, the length of the film grows substantially. Similarly, the more you speak, the larger the file size of a YouTube video becomes. Each frame in the original video is stored by dividing every point into red, green, and blue components. This method, known as the RGB color space, allows for the information to be saved for later use. When you watch a video, this data is converted back into colors and displayed on the screen. Each red, green, and blue color is shown in 8-bit 256 levels, needing 24 bits or 3 bytes for 1 point. Suppose you are watching an HD video with a resolution of 1280 by 720 at 30 frames per second. If each scene has 1280 by 720 points and each point uses 3 bytes, a 1-second video would be about 79 megabytes. Recently, there was news that Joohyun has the fastest 5G network in the world. With a transmission rate of around 50 megabytes per second, even 5G struggles to stream this video in real time. Now imagine watching it for 10 minutes straight. This calculation results in 41 gigabytes. To watch a single high-definition video, you'd need significantly more storage than the 32 gigabytes minimum required for Windows 10. So, just as I break things down for better understanding, video compression also focuses on the essential video data, compressing it across both temporal and spatial dimensions. MPEG, which emerged as an international standard for video compression in 1988, aimed to solve the challenge of efficiently compressing video data over time, much like JPEG did for images. As a result, the original video can be compressed to 1/1000th. One scene in the video is compressed using the same method as compressing an image in JPEG. In a previous video on JPEG, I explained in detail how to reduce a 100 megabyte file to 1 megabyte, so here I'll summarize it super quickly. First, in JPEG, we use the fact that human eyes are more sensitive to brightness than color differences. Each point in the original image shown in RGB is converted to overall brightness Y. Then we look at the brightness of the red and blue components. So green can be created by combining red and blue. Since our eyes are less sensitive to color differences, we can initially compress the CBCR information. Then we proceed with more extensive compression. Imagine 100 people go to a restaurant and each orders individually. Saying jjajangmyeon, jambong, jjajangmyeon would exhaust the owner. If you say 49 orders of jambong, 1 order of tangsuyuk, the order can be processed instantly. Similarly, for image files, instead of saving every repeated number, you can compress by saying there are 1,000 zeros ahead. Frequently occurring patterns like jjajangmyeon and jambong can be represented with shorter numbers to increase compression efficiency. To ensure that the same numeric information appears frequently, we use discrete cosine transform and quantization, which allows us to compress each image by focusing on the important parts. Now that we can compress individual images, MPEG faces the challenge of how to compress scenes that change over time. For example, I record myself holding a plank for 10 minutes. If the camera's position hasn't changed and my core muscles are strong, then only my face would distort freely in this video. The surrounding parts would remain unchanged. The videos we watch display numerous frames each second. When you break it down frame by frame, you will see that many parts remain unchanged. This means there is a lot of identical data between the frames. In most cases, unless there are abrupt movements like a sudden dance, the pixel values remain largely unchanged. In MPEG, the first and second frames are analyzed. Each frame is divided into 16 by 16 blocks to identify differences. By comparing each frame, it records the movement of objects between two scenes, noting their direction and position. This information is called a motion vector. In the second frame, most of the information can be carried over from the first frame following the motion vectors. When watching YouTube, if the internet speed is slow, videos compressed in this way may not play correctly. If this is not done right, parts of the video may appear distorted. This happens because scenes share information based on their motion. Additionally, when motion occurs, only the difference from the first frame is stored, reducing data significantly. It's like recording the number of COVID-19 cases for 3 days as 1,000, 1,001, and 1,002. Normally this would need 30 bits, 10 bits per day. But by saving 1000 initially and noting the differences for the next days, only needs to store the 2 keyframes, which greatly reduces the storage space. In practice, when compressing, the first keyframe is stored, and over time predicted frames are generated. If we could know both the past and the future, we could represent the frames in between with much less data. If the number of keyframes or iframes is low, not only does compression suffer, but it also becomes difficult to start playback from the middle of the video. Since it has to read up to the key iframe for you, buffering will take quite a while. To quickly play videos anywhere and anytime, MPEG employs a structure known as Group of Pictures, GOP, which periodically includes key iframes to address this issue. In the past, if you didn't know something, you would often look it up on Naver, Empass, or even Google. But nowadays, many people start by searching for YouTube videos. We now live in a world where videos are easily accessible. This is due to the major advances in both wired and wireless communications. Additionally, the progress in video compression and decompression technology has opened up new possibilities. Lately, I've been spending so much time on videos. I rarely get to the gym. Despite this, I thought it would be easy to hold a plank for 5 minutes and wanted to demonstrate how much the video file would be compressed if I stayed still. But as soon as the discomfort kicked in, I started twisting in pain, resulting in a huge unnecessary file. I felt too embarrassed to include this clip in today's video because it would lower the overall quality. It was an error in the Metaverse 3D 500 anaglyph.